Before we begin, spoilers ahead for My Hero Academia and Demon Slayer. Midnight, Stars and Stripes, Rengoku. What do they all have in common? They weren't around for long, well, except Midnight. Hi, I'm Phantom. And today in this video, we're going to be talking about how Stars and Rengoku were handled in such short time, and how all three of their deaths were handled, and their after effects. I'm just gonna say it right off the bat. I haven't seen most of My Hero Academia, and I was spoiled, so I'm gonna get a lot of stuff wrong. Most of what I have to say, I've gathered from other YouTubers, other people, well, both talking about the War and Vigilante arc, and from the wiki. Meanwhile, I have seen the Mugen Train arc on most of Swordsmiths, but I wasn't able to finish it due to technical problems on my end. So if I get anything wrong or you disagree, please let me know. And for those worried about the fact that I'm gonna start drama, stir up controversy, engage the algorithm. There. Now they won't do anything because it helps me. Also, if I end up being biased, please let me know. Right, so let's give a brief summary on the characters. Midnight, the R-rated hero responsible for enforcing the dress code. My girl. Her quirk, sleep gas that works better on men. Gee, I wonder why. Profession, teacher at UA. Cause of death, being ganged up by a bunch of blokes. We'll talk about this later. I am furious about this. Stars and Stripes. One word. America! One of All Might's biggest fans, along with Sir Night-Eye and Midoriya. Is it bad that I want to see them fight for the last All Might action figure? That'd actually be pretty funny. Quirk. New Order allows her to change the rules and also give the equivalent of quirk cancer to All for One and Krusty Lips. For more information, please check the wiki, because I ain't reading all of that. I just gave you all a simple explanation. Cause of death? By all for Shiggy, while fighting in the air on fighter jets. Okay, it's cool, but it doesn't excuse killing her off. Rengoku, the Flame Hashira, known for his loud and cheerful personality, has a hard time hearing because he broke his own ears fighting the flute demon. Yes, that happened. Breathing technique, Flame, which he learned from a book, so if he was taught by his father, he would have been more powerful. Enjoys every bite of his meal, evident by the fact he shouts "Umai" after every bite. Cause of death, fighting a Kaza and becoming a donut, and blood loss. So let's state the obvious. Both Stars and Rengoku only appeared for a short time before biting the bully. How the difference is how long we were with them. So let's start off with Stripes. She only appeared in 6 volumes in the manga before death, or 2 episodes if you're an anime watcher. And no, I'm not counting her being mentioned after her death. That will be later. So what happened in that amount of time? Well, we find out that America's #1 hero is heading to Japan to help them. Before it's finalized. Okay. Or we find out has the power to alter rules. Are you sure magic doesn't exist in this world? But, oh no, all for Shiggy Wiggy appears. But gets his ass handed to him for the most part. However, she can't use his powers on her because he has an identity crisis. Stupid plot armor. That gives him a leg up. Stars is forced to use missiles, which would cause her to lose her license, but she doesn't care. But that fails, and Krusty Lips decays, steals her quirk. But oh no, as a final fuck you, she made it so her quirk gave Tomura for one the equivalent of quirk cancer. which destroyed some of his quirks. And he can't even use it, so he basically got a net negative. Okay, so let me ask the most important question that I'm bound we all want to know. If she was so strong, why wasn't she mentioned earlier? Well, it's clear why she was brought in. It's to show that hands for games is a trap. No shit, Sherlock. We know. It's pretty obvious from his previous actions. No need to make one of the coolest characters only for them to die so quick. And also to explain why Japan ain't getting support from other nations. Well, there was a much more simpler solution. Just explaining that they're too busy dealing with their own problems. What kind? I don't know. Oh no, the villains, they're motivated. That's why Stars is heading to Japan. She's going against orders because she wants to help All Might and the people of Japan. With the thought that process, if she heads to the root of the problem, she could solve all problems at once. Would that make it better? Probably not, but who knows. One big problem I have is that we don't get much time to get to know her. Sure, we get the odd flashback here and there during the fight, which can do a good job if not overused like Naruto, but that series' excuse was there was so much filler! There's an ostrich now! That's actually kind of funny. Anyways. But really, why wasn't she mentioned earlier? With a quirk like her, she should have been mentioned at all, but no. In fact, All Might knew her. He could have talked about her and everything, but no. In fact, and little side tangent here. This is Villain Deku series that I watched on YouTube called My Villain Gang, where in one of the videos, and I'm not sure this is done by the same author, it shows Stars and Midoriya bumping into each other at an All Might festival. Midoriya recognizes her despite being disguised, which she was encouraged by her bros, as she calls them, so she wouldn't get recognized. But that didn't stop Sir Night-Eye from asking her why she was in Japan. He was also there. Only for Midoriya to point out the limited edition All Might keychain he had, and they all had it, so they ended up hanging out and having a grand old time. With it ending with Stars telling him he can be a hero even though he's quirkless. Then it cuts to the jet fight. Now they could have done something similar. They could have had Sir Night-Eye and Midoriya recognize each other when they meet at the agency, recalling how they met, and this way we get to know that Stars exists. But it's too late to change that. The series is ending. It had a good run. But hey, could have been fun to make both deaths more sadder. What have I done? Also, here's something they could have done. Give Stars her own movie. Could be about her time becoming a hero. That would be cool anyways. Anyways, moving on. Okay, unlike Stars, Rengoku appeared at the Hashira meeting, so we knew he existed, along with the other Hashira, and the whole Mugen Train arc, which granted, doesn't make it fair to compare him and Stars, but I still have to. Anyway, that's when we get to properly know him. We see his love of food, and when he's more concerned about a bean bun being wasted than being thrown at him. Anyway, quick recap. Rengoku was informed about his Mugen Train mission. He and another demon slayer head there at night to inspect the train. Along the way, they meet this girl and her grandmother, and then get a bean bun thrown at him by a girl who thinks he's a ghost or something. But he doesn't mind, because he got a free snack out of it. He then proceeds to buy all the bento boxes, which help with his cover story of being a lunchbox salesman, and a representative checking to see if the Mugen Train is alright. But then, the Slasher Demon appears. He chases it, kills it, saving the girl and grandma, causing the grandmother to remember being saved by someone of similar appearance. Rengoku quickly lets her know, "Oh, that's my father." He then buys all the lunchboxes again. What a champ. He meets Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Lord Inosuke, the latter of whom thinks the train is a demon. He was right. Here they see Rengoku take out some demons, only plot twist. It was a dream, and they're asleep because of Enmu. And oh no, he tricked a bunch of blokes to kill the Hashira by entering their dream world and destroying their core. Why didn't he ask them to kill them while they're asleep? Maybe he was worried they would sense the attack, but I could be remembering wrong. Anyways, Rengoku's nearly killed in his sleep. But he chokes his assailant. That's how you know he's awesome. Buying him time for Nezuko to wake everyone up. Enmu likes trades a little too much and becomes the Mugen trade, and dies. Rengoku gives tips to Tanjiro to help him get better at breathing and also to recover faster. And that's all the end. That's all. The end. Wait, why is there still time left? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, introducing Upper Moon Tree, Akaza. He appears and tells Rengoku, 1v1 me. And Rengoku says, alright. And then they fight, and it was awesome. Midway, Akaza offers to make Rengoku a demon so they can fight forever. Rengoku says, no, I refuse. And then, just when it looks like he'll win, Akaza remembers those Dota classes he took with Dio. Sorry. And by instinct, turns Rengoku into a donut. He then runs cause... the sun is rising from the depths of hell. Soon it will rival the clouds of heaven. Okay, sorry about that. I felt a bit of sabotage. Rengoku tells Tanjiro to set aside the place, and dies of blood loss before medics arrive. Okay, I'm gonna keep Rengoku's part short, and what I mean is the part where I talk about what they could have done, because they did pretty good with him. Now, unlike Stars, we got to spend more time with Rengoku. We got to learn a lot via conversations, flashbacks, actions, and the dream world. We see his father's indifference to his achievements. We see him give encouragement to his younger brother. In the flashback, we see how much he cared and admired his mother, who died. We also see him berate himself about letting Enmu get away with what he did while he was dozing off. He was so ashamed of the fact he called himself a Hashira that he wished he could crawl under a rock. Showing that he's hard on himself. Makes sense. And just like Stars, we both see that righteous heart and strong sense of justice, evident by the fact that his first instinct was to protect the weak, and when he refused to become a demon. Now, similar to Stars, Rengoku had two purposes. One was to reinforce how strong the Hashira were, which was evident when he took out the Slasher demon and was able to protect the carts. And two was to introduce the Upper Moon, and show how dangerous they are. Now, unlike One for All Hands, at this point of the story, not much is known about the 12 Kisuki. Sure, we've seen the Lower Moon, but the Hashira were able to take out Ryu easily, and Enmu lost because of Tanjiro and Inosuke. And sure, they could have said that the Upper Moon was strong. Don't worry, oh no. But oh no, they need to just show it. They couldn't have just introduced them as very strong and not have a body count. Akaza himself says he's killed many Hashira and only fights strong people. And they had to show how dangerous they were by killing Rengoku. Yes, it's sad. It is cheap if you're dependent on who's you're asking. Is it effective? Abso-fucking-lutely. Now, the main reason I kept this short is because I really didn't have much to complain about this. But still. Anyway, now the moment we all been waiting for. The final course for this delicious meal, or controversial depending on your own opinion of watching this. How each series handled these respective characters' deaths. Now I understand. Killing off a character can be difficult. Unless you're Chainsaw Man, where the moment anyone is happy with a character, they die. In fact, the author of Chainsaw Man asked one of his co-workers, "Hey, who do you like more, the Angel or Kobeni?" Guy said, "Angel." I bet the Angel dies. Wait, no! With this section, I'm gonna talk about how these deaths were executed and if they were handled well, and the after effects. So let's start off with the most divisive on this list, and probably the most long one in the script I've written. Midnight. We've seen a lot of her, both from the manga and the spin-off Vigilantes, so we get to be attached. Who wouldn't? So we get to know a lot about her. So how did they mess up her death this badly? Well, I'll tell you. It was done for one reason. Shock value. She died during the war arc. You know, the arc where many popular and non-popular characters have to die. Everyone was fighting in this arc. Ba-bam! 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 Class 1A was fighting. Class 1B is fighting. Pro heroes are fighting. Villains are fighting. And this is all happening in 1 year. God, those kids are traumatized. They had to fight a war. They had to deal with villains attacking them. They had to deal with motherfucking Stain, the legend. They encountered evil itself, all for one. They saw what Overhaul did to his daughter. They saw all of this in 1 year. Hope they have a good healthcare and everybody playing at UA. Still, Hirokoshi, maybe you should have did some time skips here and there. Bah, wouldn't have been as funny. Anyways, let's see the casualty listed. Thank you. Is this some kind of sick joke? The only major character I see here die is Midnight. I could be wrong though. In fact, that wasn't even the last hurrah, a final attempt. It was the worst kind of final moment. Dying off screen. And the worst part was, the people who killed her, they had no way of beating her at all. From what I see of this picture I have, the quirks could be this. Guy with bones coming out from his back. Bear jar guy. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have used speech to text, but who cares? It makes it more funny. Some random dude with a mask, and a guy with a long tube coming out from his mouth. Okay, maybe that guy had a chance, but none of the other guys could have won. Because the one thing about Midnight's quirk, it's effective on dudes, and yet she dies off, not even on screen. As you can tell, I'm very disappointed by this. A character's final moments shouldn't make you feel. Character's final moments shouldn't leave you with disappointment. In fact, it was only done for shock value, which would have worked if she wasn't the only one who died. In fact, Gran Torito's hospitalized, but he's still alive and kicking. You could have had him die and show, oh yeah, more than one important character died. Besides, he was near his time. So he could have had his last hurrah. I believe, but nope, he's alive. Midnight dies. Now granted, it was shocking, and the students' reactions were good. The fact we didn't get to see it, and the fact that it happened off-screen is what really angered me. In fact, later we find out Kurogiri and Ouroboros are the same person. What would have been her reaction? It would have been a moment we could have seen something amazing. Friends who thought their friend was dead coming together. But nope, we didn't get that at all. And that's just sad. We could have had her fight against a horde of villains coming after the students. And she would have been overexerting herself in her quirk. She would have been doing her best to make sure that the hero teams weren't interrupted. That would have shown her Karen side. But no, we didn't get that. And we lost an amazing character. Rest in peace, Midnight. You're drop dead gorgeous. Oh yeah, Mineta has a picture of her birthday suit. Where did he get that? Oh, and I'm not sure about any after effects of her death. Actually, no, wait, I can think of one. Trauma! Okay. Now it's time to talk about Stars and Stripes' death. Her death was just crusty of hands plot armor. That was the cause. But granted, the after effect is useful and also kind of funny in my opinion. In an effort to gain one of the most powerful quirks, he gets quirk cancer. Which does end up helping because it removes some quirks that would have caused young Midoriya some problems, but I mean, Aizawa was there, could have helped, but I think he was recovering. Still, Stars was killed to show how powerful the new villain is. Yeah, it's not like we know. I'm gonna be honest. I like Shigaraki. I don't like Heads for All. And this is the first time, I believe, in this script I'm calling him Shigaraki instead of the various nicknames combined with both characteristics of the villain. The reason I'm doing this is because he has an identity crisis even in scripts. Now, granted, I did find Shigaraki a bit obnoxious in the first season. He is like a man-child. But from what I've seen, he does get a lot more interesting and crazy. Also, he looks better without the hand on his face. Hey kiddo, your fangirls are waiting. Sorry, I tried to do a court. And yeah. Hey, Stars does get mentioned here and there, but I'm not sure how significant it was, but it was still been nice to have her earlier, but now we lost one of the coolest American characters, along with Senator Armstrong and Abraham Lincoln. And at least we still have you, Toady Hawk. Still, the fact that she decided to make her quirk become a cancer is pretty smart. I'll give her that. Still, you could have done something like, oh yeah, Decay fights back or something, but that wouldn't have made much sense, nor would have been as funny. However, Evil Fans just had way too much plot armor, and I think we can agree. If not, let me know why, but anyway, we should move on. Rengoku wasn't with us for very long. However, the after effects of his death, though they were small, were nice. His death inspired Tanjiro to become much more stronger, which would go on to which would end up to him learning about sunbreathing techniques and defeating an upper moon with the help of Tengen Zenitsu and Lord Inosuke. However, what really caught my eye was how everyone else reacted. Moreover, how his death affected the people around him. Of course, the boys were with him, right? Were sad. But we got to see everyone's reaction. After hearing about his death, Samune basically pledges to continue getting rid of all this. No surprise. Well, what we do find out is that Rengoku was feeding Murichiro, as he was concerned for his health and his size. And Samine basically took over that. We also saw how Tengen and him were great friends and how he felt he couldn't compete with him when he was fighting Gutaro. We saw his old student Mitsuri shocked at the news. Even his crow flew around for weeks, mourning his death. The fact that they gave attention to his crow, that worked. His brother never even celebrated another birthday because Rengoku was the only one who celebrated it. His father, after receiving his message, was about to drink some sake, but stopped, remembering his message to take care of himself. He began to cry and... God damn it, why am I crying? I'm sorry, that scene just worked. For whatever reason, whenever I see a father cry in this scene, I can't help but cry with them. And even Akaza was shocked. He didn't want to kill Rengoku. He wanted to fight him. He was hitting his sword on purpose. He wanted to fight the guy forever, but he saw how strong he was. And that's why he fought. But he still killed him because he had to end the fight quickly because the sun was rising. But still, I wonder how long they would have went. He respected Rengoku and said that him dying would be a waste of all that talent he had. He wanted to become a demon, but Rengoku went, I refuse! And no. And I'm gonna go on a little side tangent. When Akaza killed Rengoku, I hated him. But after I found out his story and got to know him better, he became one of my favorites. I generally like a lot of the characters in Demon Slayer. Much like in MHA. Now, there are people who don't like him, but that's fine. But he's one of my favorite upper moons. My favorite lower moon being Mukago, despite the fact she wasn't with us very long. I will never forgive you, Musa. I can't forgive him for killing Rengoku, though. But I like the guy. And yes, Rengoku's death was handled perfectly. While everyone else was crying, he was smiling till the end. And that was awesome. In fact, I believe Stars was also smiling as well. A character who smiles before their demise just adds a little level of badassery. And yeah, this is my analysis on these characters and their after effects in the story. With Stars and Rengoku in a short time. Now, granted, I'm not used to making videos like these, so I made a lot of mistakes. So if any of you had advice or want to correct me, please let me know. Anyways, if you guys want, I might make this a podcast series where I talk about various anime characters. That would work because I could just rant. In fact, I have the rant saved, so if any of you guys want to see that, let me know. That will be the first thing we upload on this podcast I'm making, which I have experience in. Anyways, the next one I'm going to be talking about is Musa on and One for All, and which one would be a better boss or a better villain. If you guys want to see me talk about how Akaza would solo the MHA universe, let me know. Oh, and one final message before I leave. Bakugo sucks!